Hi everyone, we are back with Callie. Hello everyone, I'm Candace Dunkley. Hello everyone, I'm Candace Dunkley with Her Story. And now joining the discussion today, we have the fabulous Amanda Watkins. Should we just kind of eradicate the whole conversation about looks, or do we just need to change the conversation? I think you should lead that campaign, Amanda. And I'll follow you there. Now, in preparing to be a boxer, you've been doing some training. And you've actually been training here. That's why we're here in this gym.
Correct.
So what is it, well, tell me, what's the training process like for you?
Oh my. So yeah, I've experienced a lot.
So when you're going through those things, did you see yourself here? Did you see yourself as an actress? Hello, we're back with Yvonne Conti, and she's just gonna tell us more about her career and how she made that transition from comedian to public speaker. Tell us a little bit about that. What is the humor advantage? What led you to starting your company wasn't really funny at all. You actually lost your job.
Right.
And remember, continue to watch because you can't tell history without telling her story. See you next time. Baldwin won't know her opponent until after the GOP primary in mid-August. But regardless, analysts say this congressional race could have an impact far beyond Wisconsin. Although it's D.C. law that drivers have to stop for pedestrians, many drivers ignore the law, causing several accidents each year. Now, if you can't make it to the zoo to see the sporting events, you can still catch all the action online through the National Zoo Games Facebook and Twitter pages. While residents are saying that this building is a sight for sore eyes, the mayor says that it's this construction that's putting people back to work. And remember, you can't tell history without telling her story. So continue to watch, and I'll see you next time. Do you want to know her story?
The violence in this specific neighborhood and in my home definitely impacted me, and I think it had a major impact into me going into the gang life.
What kept her going?
I just wanted more.
She'll tell you, things weren't that easy.
From there, things just got out of control.
So how did she stay strong?
And the things that are not going right in my life, I will pray about those things. I will do what I have control over. I will lift the rest of it up.
We are here to tell you the stories of dynamic women making a difference in our world. Because you can't tell history without telling her story. Hello everyone, I'm Candace Dunkley with Her Story. Now you may be wondering, why are we taping today's show in a boxing ring? Well, that's because we're talking to a local actress who's fighting her way to the big screen. Kalmisha Givens is preparing for her screen debut in her original film, Fighting the Odds. So now, it's only fitting to introduce you to the woman behind the script and the gloves. With every jab, with every hit, Kalmisha Givens gets one punch closer to achieving her goal.
I had to create some opportunities for myself, so I said, what type of role would I likely be cast in?
Just wondering.
It's a question the aspiring actress says she answered only after receiving just a couple acting jobs in LA. Kalmisha returned home to the south side of Syracuse, where she's known as Callie. Here she created a role to better suit her talents.
If I had the opportunity to choose the role that I thought was ideal for me, it will be the role playing Layla Ali.
She's preparing for her screen debut in a leading role in her upcoming film, Fighting the Odds. Callie will play a young woman battling an abusive relationship who discovers her independence through boxing.
When my mother went to prison,
Callie has been fighting the odds from a young age. She witnessed police taking her mom out of her grandmother's house for drug possession when she was 5 years old. Her father also spent about 11 years in prison for dealing drugs. Her pain, combined with a culture of violence in her neighborhood, pushed her to fight.
I was fighting with something in my life as well, and I believe part of that was just my parents being gone, you know? whatever I was experiencing here. Sometimes I didn't feel like it was home.
And that's a big void in a young person's life. And she was a young lady, so there was a lot of anger there, a lot of hate, and a lot of pain.
After 5.5 years in prison, Callie's mom returned home, but the fighting continued. At age 12, Callie and her friends started a gang, calling themselves 911 Quickness.
They still require us to go through the process.
But fast forward 15 years, and today Callie works at On Point for College, an access program that helps low-income youth prepare for college. It's the same program Callie says helped her escape gang life and eventually graduate from Howard University with a minor in acting.
They challenged me.
Many agree it's Callie's strength and determination that's helped her to be a success.
She wasn't one that would march to the beat of others. She had her own mind and her own ideas about how things should be done.
Which is why this first-generation college graduate continues to win the admiration of those around her.
I told her, oh, wow, I think one day you will be like Angelina Jolie. Yeah.
Callie may not be an A-lister yet, but many feel the film will have a winning impact on the community.
That could be me, they would say. I could do that if she did it.
And for Callie, she's determined to keep fighting her way to the big screen.
I consider myself a Darwinist. I say you put me anywhere on this earth and I think I can survive.
Hi everyone, we are back with Callie and she's going to tell us a little bit about her film, Fighting the Odds. Callie, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to hear you and I'm so excited to hear about your film, Fighting the Odds. So can you tell us what is Fighting the Odds?
Yes, Fighting the Odds is a story of an abused young woman who is forced to utilize her inner and her outer strength in order to survive and retaliate. But what are the odds of her survival? So I like to say a little girl's dream is to be that rose that grows from concrete. Mm-hmm. But what if the sun never shines and the rain continues to fall? Then what are the odds of her survival?
Now, in her survival, tell us a little bit about the character, because in speaking to you before, you said that she's a woman that tried to find herself through men, but eventually became a boxer. What's this story about?
Naima is a young woman who grows up in the urban city. She has these really two great friends. They're very close friends. And throughout their friendship, they all experience different things, of course. She looks up to them. She somewhat wants to walk in their shoes. Their lifestyles are a lot better than hers. And Naima plots with these two girls to marry an athlete, and they all succeed. And all their stories are very different, but we focus on Naima. So what happens is she ends up in an abusive situation. So now she has to find that inner strength in her. And I mean, it's a great, great story because you never know why she turns to the boxing ring. But if you watch the film, you'll know why the boxing ring. So that it's a reason why she chose the boxing ring. And it's also a reason why she, is able to overcome everything that she has overcome. It's in her, and we don't know why. And we will know why when we watch the film.
Now, what made you actually want to write a film about a boxer, a female boxer for that matter?
Well, I've always said if I had the opportunity to choose a role, an ideal role for me, it would be to play Laila Ali. So I know in the acting industry, we're often typecast. And
meaning what? What's typecast?
Typecast meaning you have a certain palette or you have certain characteristics, and based on those characteristics, those are the roles you're likely to get cast for. And I think that I'm likely to get cast as a boxer in a film. And so I wanted to display that. I wanted to show that. I just wanted to show the entertainment industry what I had to offer. And I thought the boxing story would be a great way to do that.
Now, in preparing to be a boxer, you've been doing some training. And you've actually been training here. That's why we're here in this gym.
Correct.
So what is it, tell me, what's the training process like for you?
Oh my, it's very, very intense. I actually strained a muscle during the process. I was training for about 5-6 months straight, Monday through Friday. probably from about 5:30 to about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, with 2 professional trainers who actually used to be boxers themselves. And I mean, it was just nonstop. It was very, very intense, very tiring. It's addictive though. So once you start doing it, you feel like you want to continue to come back, because it's like, it's addictive. You know, you're very addicted to it, and it's like, I have to go back the next day, I have to go back the next day. So I think that's why I kept at it for 5-6 months straight until I did the fundraiser. So that's when it sort of took a pause for me, when I did the fundraiser.
So what was your fundraiser?
The fundraiser. I held a fundraiser at Newhouse School of Communications here in Syracuse, New York, with a friend of mine who actually I hope to be the assistant director for the film. His name is Raekwon Pride. He graduated from, as I just said, Newhouse Television, Radio, and Film. And we held a fundraiser there, and Dr. Rick Wright, Syracuse professor, hosted the event. And we invited a lot of family, friends, and people we felt believed in us and believed in the story, and they came out that night, and we just showed a small documentary that he put together for the film, and just some of the other projects that I've been involved in while I was in Los Angeles. We were hoping to get money, and we did pretty well.
So you met your goal?
I met part of my goal. My goal is $18,000 to shoot the independent film, and that's with in-kind services. So with the help of J. Michael Shoes, John Vivallo from J. Michael's, a woman named Teresa Giles. She owns her own daycare center. Tierra Peterson, Shirley Rouser, Afika's Beauty Salon. These are some of my sponsors. So they all have contributed something to the film, which brought my budget down tremendously. So it brought it down to $18,000. We fundraised $7,000 that night. So I'm looking to fundraise the remainder, which is $12,000.
Great. Now, Callie, in preparing for this film, you weren't always here. You were in LA, and then you decided to come back to Syracuse. Just tell me a little bit, why'd you leave LA to come here?
Well, this is my home, and I believe that we have a lot of missed talent in Syracuse. And I say missed talent because it's really tough growing up in the urban city community, and there aren't many artistic programs available here anymore. So a lot of us, we don't know what's available for us, and we're a little afraid to step outside of our comfort zone. And I knew that I can come home and I could shoot this film and it would be a success here. And then I know that the people who really care and believe in me, a lot of them are here. You know,
like the people that are coaching you.
Exactly, like the people who are coaching me here, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Harrison, Mr. Ed. I mean, they devoted their time to me. They really did. Provided me with boxing gloves, you know, my own boxing gloves, my first pair of boxing gloves. So, and then, I mean, the support. I mean, Newhouse, we had a phenomenal turnout. You know, one night I did 7,000 hours. Wow. So, yeah.
Now, Callie, I know that this hasn't been easy for you creating the film and also just getting to this point of being an actress. So when we come back, we are going to just talk to you about your own personal struggles and how you overcame them.
Okay.